What's up, boys? It's a Dual Factor once again with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you my regional report for the Rosemont regional that I just recently attended. Me and John, or Bingo HD, both went up there. We only ended up playing 5 rounds, and we ended up leaving early. More or less, we were just honestly kind of tired and kind of out of it and weren't really playing to the best of our ability. But I still thought it was important to show you guys what I played at the events and kind of showcase the change that I made from the last event I went to, which was the St. Louis regional, and so on and so forth. But before I get into the profile and get into what I played against, I just want to go ahead and don't forget to check out the X2 Drop podcast that we have every Monday pop up on the channel. On my channel it does come up a little bit later, but on Bingo's channel it'll always come up, and in the Google Play, Apple, and Buzzsprout feed, you'll always see it there Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Don't forget to check that out, but with further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the deck list. So there were a lot of changes from my list from St. Louis versus the list that I played for Rosemont, and honestly I like the changes a lot, and I wish I would have just been a little bit more, I guess the word is, I wish I would have been a little bit more motivated to play, because I honestly feel like I could have done really well. So enough about that. Let's see, so 1 copy of Gazelle because I can only play 1. 3 copies of Foxy. I'm not going to lie to you boys, these prismatics are insane. Like, I love these. But the more and more I play the deck, more and more I like this card. Just, it does so much for you. It outs all your problem cards. It generates +1s. It's a solid extender. Like, the card does everything. 3 copies of Spenny. Not more to say about this. At worst case scenario, this is 1 card Sunlight Wolf. Keep that in mind. This time we are playing 2 Jaguar. I took the Blessings of Ice to play 2 of this, and it actually really does matter. And it's the best card to discard off Signet Mining. Another thing is, if you already open the card and have access to it, that means you don't have to send it off of Foxy, or you don't have not send it off Foxy, send it off Gazelle. You don't have to summon it off Mirage Stalio. So having more access to it just comes up a lot more. And we're still only playing the 1 copy of Falco. No more copies you need of this. When you need it, you can get it. Being able to recycle your spells and traps every single turn is insane. Being able to bounce Foxys back to your hand and then normal summoning them is really insane. So there's that. Then for non-Salamangreat starter cards, 1 Lady Debug. I saw it a couple times, and again, it's just like one of those things, like I don't want to commit it to my normal summon, but it's the only play I have, then it's the only play I have. The one time I did normal summon it, it did resolve, so that was really cool. We're still playing 3 copies of Flame Buffalo. To me, this is still the best normal summon in the deck. A lot of the times, you're just trying to resolve Signet, or trying to get to Signet Mining and discard it with a Salamangreat card, and this helps facilitate gets you to that play. Plus, it just digs you 2 cards deep in your deck. You see more hand traps, you see your Solemn cards, and it just, I still think it's the best normal summon right now. For hand traps, you play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. I decided to bump it up to 3. You just, like I say, you just want to see it in hand. 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Not much to say about this. I still really like the hand trap. And then from one of the changes, I did play 2 copies of Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. I did notice in the comments of the last video, as they asked me why I didn't play Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, to give you a basic generic reason, at St. Louis, I see a lot of rogue decks, and a lot of decks that don't link summon a lot. Like, you're going to see your True Draco decks, you're going to see your Stun decks, you're going to see so on and so forth. So I thought for that event, it wasn't that great of a card to main deck, which, in retrospect, when I look back at it, there were 2 matches that having my main deck probably would have made the difference, but overall I just think it was correct not to play it at that event. At Rosemont, especially with the release of the new promos of Dark Ruler No More and Nibiru, the Primal Being, I thought it was important to play this because I thought there was going to be a lot more Salamangreat decks and a lot more Sky Striker decks for fear of being blown out by that 1 card. And I was right. I played a lot more. There was a lot of Salamangreat and there was a lot of Sky Striker at the event. So I think it was correct. Plus, you kind of just want the option to draw 2 in your deck, so that's why I went ahead and put it back in there. And that's it for the monsters. On for the spells. 3 copies of Signet Mining. You see this card and you can resolve it with Call by the Grave. Easy. Speaking of, 3 copies of Call by the Grave, and shoutouts for Wade, because I didn't think I was going to pick these up for a while, but he had prismatics for me, and these look just as gorgeous. 2 Salamangreat spells, Sanctuary and Circle. We cut Will out of the deck. I just didn't think Will was very good. there were some situations where I wanted it, but at looking at to it and analyzing the situation, there's just something else your deck could have done that was just as powerful as Resolving Will, so we just went with that. 2 copies of Twin Twister. I like having this card in the main deck for regional events, just because you don't know what you're going to run into. And it just outs problematic cards that your deck can't deal with naturally, so there's that. And then on to the trap cards. 3 copies as permanents as the final hand trap in the deck. Not much to say, card's really generic. It does conflict with Fantastical sometimes, but it is what it is. I only played 3 copies of Strike this time. This card is really good. It's really good against True Draco because it clears the True Draco monsters and allows you to kill them. So there's that. And then we only played 1 of each Salamangreat trap this time. I liked having the increased amount in the last profile, but I just thought it was unnecessary for this event. So that is the main deck. We'll go on to my extra deck. Not much has really changed on there. Actually, I think my extra deck is the exact same as the St. Louis Regional, but here we are. 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf. Not much to say there. 3 copies of Banelinks, 3 comes up, so you should definitely play 3. My favorite rarity upgrade is 2 copies of Salamangreat Heat Leo, and he looks gorgeous and prismatic, and this is actually my favorite art of the card, so I'm really happy that it got the prismatic upgrade. 1 copy of Mirage Stalio. I'm probably going to end up bumping this card up to 2. I think it's really necessary now, but we'll see. 1 copy of Update Jammer and 1 copy of Transcode Talker. I still really like this combo. It did come up for me a couple times where since I was playing it, it allowed me to win the game. So I think I'll continue playing it. 1 copy of Borreload, 1 copy of Nightmare Phoenix, 1 copy of Hida. I think we're going to cut Borreload out of the deck. There's a couple times where Crusadia, if his card would have been Crusadia Evermax over Borreload, it would have been a lot more game-changing. So I think that's going to be a change. And then I'm still playing Dweller as a generic rank 4. To me, it's just the best card against combo decks, so I'm just going to continue to play it. And then on to my side, as you guys know, the Mega 10s came out this weekend, so we are citing 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. I will admit, I did not side this card once. I had this card sided against me a lot, and every situation was resolved against me. It was incorrect, and I still ended up winning the game. But this card's effect is powerful. I was watching people get blown out by this card all day long. Combo decks were still being represented there and stuff like that, but like you had to play with fear of this card being in the back of your mind, and it's just card's insane. 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. This is mainly just for Orcus. It's like the only hand trap they can't play through. And Orcus is definitely on the rise, so we're going to play that. I played 2 copies of Ogre. I just thought it was still a really solid generic hand trap to side against, and it's super impactful against certain matchups, so I thought it's still warranted. We might move it over to the main deck. I just feel like it's at the point where it's necessary, but we'll see. I played 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Not really much to say there. The cards blow out. 3 copies of Anti-Spell, followed by the 1 copy of Imperial Order. And that's for Striker, and I didn't play any Striker, unfortunately. Well, technically I played ABC Striker, but I didn't side it in for that part. But that was my side deck. Kind of go over what I played against. So I ended up playing a total of 5 rounds at the event. My first round was actually against one of the decks I contemplated playing, which was Paleozoic, but he wasn't playing the Marine Cess engine. I would have played mine with the Marine Cess engine because I think that engine's actually really insane. I won that match. Second match was against the ABC Sky Striker deck, which I should have lost to, but for some reason the guy wanted to go for the Boral Sword ABC Dragon Buster OTK, and he decided that he was going to go forth with that combo, and he just timed himself out, ran out of time, and I won that match. My third match was against True Draco, and this is my rounds 2 and... not my rounds 2 and 4, but my rounds 3 and 4. This is where I like to say I started to zone out. Like, I swear I was on Cloud 9 the entire time. Like, I knew what I should have done, and I just didn't do it because I just wasn't paying attention, and I don't know why. Like, I was just, like, off some La La Land world, and I ended up losing that match, and that was tough. And then the same thing happened to me round 4, where I was playing against a Necros player. I knew exactly what I should be doing and exactly what I'd be stopping, and for some reason, I just didn't do it, and I just found my attention somewhere else, and I lost that match too. So I feel like those were 2 L's that I took that were 100% my fault, were 100% preventable, and I just didn't do anything to stop it because I just, like I said, I was off zoning out my own little world, and I was in Cloud 9, and I don't know what happened. And then I get paired up against a Cyber Dragon player, round 5, and after taking 2 L's, being really salty about it, feeling that they weren't deserved, that I should have won those matches, I just ended up not even caring about the round 5. And me and John took off from that event. So, to me, I felt like it was a wasted trip because I feel like I didn't play it to the best of my ability, which is really unfortunate. But it's also a good learning experience for me as well, especially with the release of the new promos of Nibiru, Dark War, and Dimension Shifter, which I think that card's going to be really good. You just need to find a deck that's going to be good in. But, yeah, that was my Rosemont Regional report. I did play Salad again, so shout-outs to all you Salad players. Like I said, don't forget to check out the X2 Drop podcast. I know if you guys been looking at the community tabs, I am going to be bringing you a Fire Fist deck profile because I finally got all my cards in the mail and I'm super excited to play that. We got a bunch of new Prismatic Thunder Dragon cards. I want to do a Thunder Dragon profile, Danger, or Pure, or both, you never know. I do want to profile Marine Cess Paleo because that's another deck I find really interesting, and then there's a lot of other decks I wanted to do too. But look forward to future content. I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.